Inside our San Francisco studios, it's Football Weekly, the digital edition. Nick Aliotti, Rick Neuheisel, Mike Yam with you. Three of us, we actually just finished up our Pac-12 Network's football podcast, which, by the way, you can download on iTunes. And you joked, you like how I do that.
You're shameless.
No doubt. You joked about Nick Aliotti, who's been enjoying retirement, loving every second of being on the golf course. You guys played in Eugene.
This will be the first time he'll have pangs. I wish I were still in that booth.
You buying that?
He'll feel it this weekend.
I think he's right. I always got more excited for the big game. You know, when you coach this profession, you want to be in the biggest arena and the best place you can be. And these are the kind of games that coaches live for.
I'll go further. Without even talking to him, I'll bet you somewhere he's got some notes of what he would do this weekend. I'll guarantee it. He's got them somewhere written.
You have such a strong attachment to the Oregon program, and they are playing maybe the biggest matchup in week 2 in the country against Michigan State. It'll be in Eugene. You tell me then. How is
the Green Bay Packer Bowl?
Yeah,
green on green.
Tell me how this is going to play out.
Whoever wins in the trenches will win this game on both sides of the ball. No doubt in my mind. Because whoever wins in the trenches is going to control the tempo, and whoever controls the tempo of this game, I think wins. When you look back at Oregon and they play these teams, the Auburns and the LSUs and the Stanfords that we talk about having given Oregon a problem, when they play against top 20 defenses, they're 2-3, average 24 points a game. When they play the others, 46-3, averaging 50 points a game. That's because of the trench play. I think it comes down to who wins the line of scrimmage.
He won't say this, but I will. Oregon's defense has atoned very well in those big games. Yeah. They play large. They hold you saw them hold Stanford 2 years ago to 17 points, 3 of those being in overtime. Last year, Stanford only scored 26 points, had the ball 43 minutes, but still only scored 26 points. If Oregon can play prolific offense, which has been the norm when they get the big games in Autzen Stadium, when game day comes rolling in, when they can get that prolific offense going, Mariota, and it was a brilliant move to move Byron Marshall into the slot. That was absolutely a home run. They get that thing going and they score 30 plus, they're going to have their day. If they struggle to score, this is going to be a rock'em sock'em game to the end, because Sparty comes in there, used to these kind of collisions. They like collisions. They like phone booth football. And I'm telling you, it's going to be up to Don Pelham, the new defensive coordinator, to be able to hold in there in those trenches, just as he suggested.
This is going to be an outstanding game. It's going to be rocking in Autzen. Game day's there. Oregon's pretty good when game day comes to town, but this is a big challenge. And one thing they're going to have to do on defense is change the math, change the look, mix it up to hopefully confuse Connor Cook and Michigan State.
He just brought up a phrase that you use all the time: the numbers, change the math. Explain.
Football's a math game. It's about how many blockers, so how many do you have to fit? He always found a way to +1 you. If you had a 4-man side, he'd have 5 defenders. You have a 3-man side, he'd have 4 defenders. So if all that math adds up defense advantage, then there's got to be space outside that you have to be able to throw. The one thing about this game, for the fans of true football, you're going to see 2 excellent quarterbacks. Mariota on one side, Connor Cook on the other. Remember, Cook kind of stepped into the starting role late in the season, ended up throwing 3 touchdown passes in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, had a very good game in the Rose Bowl. But he got nicked up a little bit, had to put a knee brace on. We'll see if that hinders his mobility coming into this weekend.
Nick, the most vital question anyone's going to ask, because you haven't been in this situation before, are you watching in a room by yourself in silence, or are you, how does that work on a game like this?
Well, it won't be padded, but I will be watching the game probably by myself. The only other person that's allowed to come in is my wife and maybe my granddaughter.
That's big.
Yeah, I'll let Kath come in.
Okay. I'm sure she appreciates
Silence!
that.
I kill you! Don't talk during the game.
Not allowed to speak.
Don't talk to me.
Not allowed to speak. You can, by the way, a complete wrap-up of what happens in this game. You don't want to miss it. End of the night here on the Pac-12 Network.
Rock'em sock'em football, Yam.
The Dr. Pepper post-game report.
Squared away.
I can't wait for this one, because I know you're going to get excited in the touchdown room as we're watching it. And for everything that's happening around the conference, all you have to do is follow us on Twitter at Pac-12 Networks. Yes, it's plural.